Every eye watching is not your friend. Every smiling face is not friendly. And everybody that hugs you don't love you. Let's talk about malochia. Hey, y'all. It is February 1st. It is Saturday, and this is the 6th episode of the How to Be Magical podcast. My name is Nikki Buchanan. I'm the owner of Soul Things Botanica, and you are listening to How to Be Magical, the podcast where I discuss all things Black, magical, and fun. And on this week's episode, I want to talk about malochia, aka the evil eye, aka bad mind, aka haters, whatever you want to call it. All right, there's a name for it in any language. Trust me. And I think it's important, especially in the age of social media, that we discuss the ways that we protect ourselves from malochia, the ways that we avoid it altogether, the ways that we are being responsible with our own energy and our own ache, so that we're not participating in malochia as well. So, what is malochia? Malochia is literally the evil eye. It's when somebody gives you a stank, dusty look. It's when somebody has a ill intention in their heart and they're just looking at you. They're watching you. They don't like you. They are literally the physical embodiment of my man's from Belly eating a banana. Like that dude. Like, I don't like them dudes. Like, that's really how simple it is. That is the simplest thing. When we think about magic, spell work, and all these things, it all begins with an intention, right? So like I said in the last episode, I don't care what kind of candle you work in, you are the most important part of that whole situation. And in any spell work that you're doing, you are the common denominator. So however you feeling, whatever your intention is, that's going to determine what your outcome is. And bad mind is a real thing, like, especially when you want to get up and you want to share certain things before they're done, or you want to brag about certain stuff as it's happening, or you want to celebrate yourself or celebrate other people. You're going to find that everybody that's with you or watching ain't watching with goodness in their heart. Everybody's not watching you just because they want to see you win. Some people literally watching just because they want to see your shit fuck up because of whatever is going on in their life, whatever their shortcomings are. But that literally has nothing to do with you, right? Like, you can't live your life according to that. And I remember a couple years ago, it was a Boondocks episode that touched on it briefly. I think when like Granddad had went on vacation or whatever, he was supposed to be going on his doing it big trip. If I remember the episode correctly, Granddad was supposed to be going on his doing it big trip, and he left Huey in charge of the money. And of course, Riley went and spent all the money on clothes and flashy shit, and they ain't have no food. And Huey was like, what the fuck? And Riley was like, yeah, because when everybody see me in my shit, I'm shining, they gonna be hating. And then Huey was like, so you determine your success by how much ill will you garner? Like, he was genuinely confused, because that's really how it is. It's like, there are some people that need to be honest about the fact that they do court, malochia and bad mind. Like, they want it. Like, some people feed off that, because at the end of the day, it's energy, right? It's a vibration. And the same way how it feels, you feel something when people genuinely care about you and you feel that love radiating towards you. There's a feeling when people genuinely can't stand your ass and you feel that. Some people thrive off that. Like, some people, like, they make their whole career off that. They come in, like, because to them it's a little easier. That's in my mind, to them it's easier. Like, it's easier to just be a dick, be the bad guy, be the person that everybody loves to hate. Some people literally do that. Some people get typecast like that. Like, whatever the case is, but we are archetypes, right? Like, we're humans. We automatically going to put things in their little respective categories. And for some people, being hated on is as close to being loved and revered as they going to get, so they just take it. Me personally, I'd rather not. I'd rather you not hate me, right? Like, you ain't gotta like me, but I don't need nobody actively hating me either. Like, I don't need nobody thinking about me so hard to the point where shit start fucking up in my life. And that's real, right? So, like, again, whether we want to acknowledge certain things or not, right? The same way how they did all of those experiments with plants and animals or whatever, and it's like, you could talk to a plant every day, say some mean shit to it every day, and watch it wither, and then another plant, another control group, they say something lovely to the plant every day, and it's thriving. That's real, right? Like, maybe plants don't speak English. Maybe plants don't speak in words, but they understand vibrations, and they feel things. And somebody saying something nasty and hateful to it on a frequent basis, in close proximity to it will affect it. It will do the same thing to you, right? Now, whether or not you understand what's being said to you, whether or not you understand the energy that's coming your way, you will feel that, right? And because Ashe is neutral, Ashe being the life force, the essence of things that keep things moving, right? Because it's neutral, it could go either way, right? So the same energy that it takes for somebody to say, wow, congratulations. Like, I know you've been working really hard on this thing and wow, you killing it. Wow, I'm so proud of you. It's the same energy that it takes for somebody to be like, oh, they think they all that because they got their little degree. Like, fuck cares about their degree. You don't even need a degree anyway. You're not like same way, right? And I feel like social media exacerbates it because a lot of people are not going to openly post their downfalls, right? Like, a lot of people are not going to be honest about their shortcomings all the way, right? Some people are only going to post the highlights, and that's their prerogative, right? Like, it's your social media. You post what you want. You don't owe nobody that, right? I'm not saying that, but I will say that there are people that, there's a lot of ways to watch people online without being friends with them, right? Somebody doesn't have to be, if your posts are open, somebody don't have to be your friend to read your posts if your page is public, right? On Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And even if somebody is your friend, right? Quote unquote friend on social media, that doesn't necessarily mean that y'all actually real friends. Like, y'all literally could just be friends on the internet. They could be a strange person. They could be from a dummy account. It could be so many things. They could be asking other people. I mean, screenshots are a real thing, Okay, maybe you're not friends with them no more, but somebody that they're friends with is still on your page, and somehow they keep up what's going on in your life and all this. That's weird to me, but people do it, right? People do it. And I feel like reality TV has contributed a lot to it. Tabloids, like, all of that to me is bad mind. Like, I'm gonna keep it at 100. I don't fuck with none of that shit. Only because I see how entangled people get with it, and I see how ridiculous and far left it goes. I'm just like, actually, I'm not with it. I'm not with the shits. I don't like it. Like, I don't fuck with no tabloids. I don't like the Shade Room. I don't like TMZ. I don't like none of them motherfuckers. Because that's not real journalism to me, right? Like, I'm from New York, all right? I'm from the age of Wendy Williams being the most hated person in New York City, and everybody hated her, right? So the fact that she got a TV show now don't really mean shit to me, because I remember Wendy Williams from the WBLS days, and ain't nobody was fucking with her then, right? So it's like, because that type of provocative journalism, if you even want to call it journalism, to me is low. It's like one of the lowest forms of journalism, right? It's like, it's low. It's low to air people's dirty laundry. It's low to talk about people in the lowest points of their life when they're going through struggling with addiction, going through family, marital issues, domestic issues, like career, getting fucked up. There's nothing in that to me that makes me feel good, right? And I understand everything's not going to be warm and fuzzy, but I think that we are very comfortable as a society in sitting in bad mind. Like, we are comfortable in it. We're comfortable operating in it, and anybody's susceptible to it. I'm not talking about nobody. I'm not above it myself. Like, we are all susceptible to falling into this bad mind mentality where we can look and criticize and judge everybody else and what they're doing and what we think they're doing and what they're not doing and how they doing it and who they with. And now, when you find yourself getting that tied up, and that understand, like, make some connections with yourself. Like, why do I even care? Who is this person? Is this person even a real person? What does this person ever do to me? Like, we have to really start taking some steps, because there's people that are really invested in the lives of other people, and they have nothing going on with their life of note, right? Like, they not putting that same energy into themselves. So it's obvious, right, that they got too much time in their hands, and they're very committed to focusing on other people's shortcomings, right? It's another thing to be like, an observer of culture and just be like, I see this shit that's going on out here, and I don't really wish nobody no ill will, but, I don't really agree with X, Y, and Z. That's a different mindset than a lot of the shit that I see online. And to be fair, like I said, it's easy. The culture, the American society, I'm speaking as an American society makes it very easy to fall into these types of traps, right? And it can affect your life in so many ways, right? So, like, what is malochia? Malochia is the evil eye. What is the evil eye? What is bad mind? It is anybody who is not thinking anything positive about you and directing that energy towards you. And however you receive it, whatever happens, that can be an effect of it. I mean, it could be, you could get a random bout of depression, or just like sluggishness. You can start feeling tired. You can feel some tightness in your chest. You can feel tightness in your back. You can feel tightness in like the base of your neck and your shoulders. You can get a headache that just seems to come out of nowhere. And it's like, y'all, you eating food, you drinking water, you rested, why's your head hurting just out of nowhere? You could, and that's when it really gets into your sphere, like, right, like into your aura, right? But it can affect other things too, and it's like it goes in levels. So like the first level is like plants and animals, right? So let's say you got a neighbor that don't fuck with you, and you don't fuck with them, and they come over and touch your rose bush, and next thing you know, your rose bush is dying and wilting. That's bad mind, right? Like your neighbor could come over and say, "Oh my God, these are so pretty," and touch them, and next thing you know, your shit is wilting. Or your animals could start getting sick. Your pets could get sick. You know, if you have babies or small children, they could be the next in line to get sick. Then it's the elderly and the infirmed, right? People that are compromised. Then it's everybody else, right? And this is the reason why when some people don't post their babies on social media, like they don't post the baby face. They'll oh yeah, he had a baby, but some people, you won't see that baby. That baby will be 3 years old before you see it. And when I was younger, I used to like, this is so silly. Like, who the fuck cares? But now that I'm older, I'm like, I get it. It's a lot of people I went to school with. Yo, I can't tell you what the baby looked like. Ain't none of my business. You go in person, you see that baby, right? You don't need to put everything on the internet. Because we already know there's a lot of things that can be done with your image. And even somebody just looking at you too long is not good, right? If they don't have nothing good in their heart for you, right? Like, I think that's what's important. It's like, yo, intention is everything. And there's some people, again, like I said, it starts with the intention. While you may not think that you are the type of person that's going to go out and buy a candle and fix a candle, or go out and spend money and pay somebody to hex somebody, or start working with some deity that you don't know, but anything, just because you might not be that type of person, don't put that past a lot of people out here. There's a lot of people out here that's unhinged. Okay, there's a lot of people, and some people don't need a candle. Some people don't need a herb. Some people don't need a bath. Some people don't need no spell. All they need to do is just be thinking about you a little too long. All they need to do is know a little too much about your business and your comings and goings, right? Like, this is why even now it's crazy, because it's like, I feel like bad mind and malochia is stronger now than ever because of our phones, right? So like, you could post a picture and it's innocent. You look nice. You out in the town. You having a good time, right? You post the location where you at. Somebody who don't fuck with you happens to see this. They know where you at. Now they thinking about it. They're like, oh, they over on such and such street. All they have to do, they know too much now. They know where you at. They know who you with. They know what, they might not know what you're doing, but they're making assumptions about whatever it is that you're doing. And people come up with this whole narrative, and that's really, to me, what malochia is. When somebody start coming up with a whole narrative about you, and you ain't got you're not even there. They telling you they got a whole storyline about you. Sometimes it's worse. Sometimes it comes from people that's related to you, people that you care about, people in your inner circle, friends, family, trusted confidants. We see it all the time. It's literally the trope for almost every fucking action movie. There's that one person that was on the team, and then they not on the team no more. Now they mad, right? And they just salty about it, and now they want to fuck the whole thing up for everybody else. These are real things, right? These ideas just don't come from nowhere. And like, so how can you protect yourself from it? What do you do when you find that you're dealing with people? Well, one, be honest with yourself about what it is that you're doing. Take stock of whatever it is you got going on in your life. And I trust that a lot of people would be like, well, there's no reason for somebody to be jealous of me. We all have said that at one point. There's no reason. Like, I don't understand why nobody don't like me. But sometimes you might need to just take a step back and look at it from another person's perspective and take stock of everything that you have, because there will be somebody out there that's mad at you about shit that you have no control over. People be mad about the way other people like you. They be mad at that. They be mad at your skin being clear. They be mad at you have a good relationship with your family. They be mad that you work. They be mad at the dumbest shit, things that you literally take for granted. Somebody is walking around mad, like, oh, fuck, this motherfucker with his fucking family. Gosh, oh. Meanwhile, they ain't got no family that's worth a damn that want to be bothered with them, and that's why they got that attitude about you and towards you. It's not about you, right? I think sometimes we need to be honest with ourselves about, like, why would somebody hate on you? Take stock. Make a list. This could be like a nice little self-love exercise too, because love and hate is just two halves of the same coin, right? It's literally the same emotion, just pushed in different ways. And that's all that malochia and bad mind is. It's just that negative emotion pushed all the way left field. Now, if the pendulum was to swing the other way, trust me, that person probably be your biggest fan. But because they can't be your biggest fan, because they can't be near you, because they don't have what they feel they supposed to have, and they feel, all of that is going to cloud how they feel. And this is going to come out as hate. And I'm not one of those people to do things for the haters, because I think that's weird. Again, like I said, I don't like to court, hate. That's weird, because I want to live, and I'm sorry, but courting hate is how motherfuckers end up dead and in weird love triangle situations and all types of shit. Be like, yeah, motherfuckers gonna hate me now. Yeah, somebody will hate you now and will fucking shoot you. I'm not here for that shit neither. Like, I'm actually here for don't pay me no mind if you don't wish me no good. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, if you don't wish me no good, just let me be invisible to you, because I don't got time to be having extra people thinking about me that I don't want thinking about. I don't like that shit. And I'm not into that. And we also have to check ourselves too. Like, if you find that you hate following people, and we all been there, if you find that you are following people that you know good and well, you don't fuck with them, unfollow that person. Stop. Just stop. It's not nice. It's a waste of time. Because now you, like I said, you're gonna start building up a narrative in your head about this person, and this person ain't even thinking about you, and this person ain't got nothing to do with you, and that's not healthy. It's just not healthy. And we need to be mindful of the ways we are distributing our energy, and we are putting ourselves in positions to be entangled up with other people in their bullshit. We got to be honest about our bullshit too. So make a list of all of the reasons why you think somebody would hate on you, and be honest, and be a little cocky with it too. And even think about the things that literally you can't even take credit for, so you don't even think about. If you got a good family structure, if you fucking come from a family that has money, if you was born with, good genes, whatever the fuck it is, trust me, there is somebody out there like, oh, this fucking bitch. And you can't do nothing about it. This is not to be liked by everybody. It's not about that, right? Like, countering malochia is not about being the most likable person, it's not about that shit. It's about being honest about what could possibly be coming your way and knowing ways to like deflect and put that shit back to where it belongs. And there's some simple things you could do, like bath-wise. A beer bath is always good if you feel like you are the recipient of some unwanted negative energy. Literally, a can of beer, some cheap beer, go get you a Corona, get you a fucking Heineken, get you a Modelo, in the can, whatever. Pour that shit, take your shower as regular, pour it over yourself from the neck down. Right? From the neck down. I never pour baths over my head unless I'm actually told to do that. But for the most part, you pour the bath from your neck down and you air dry. Put on some white clothes and go chill for a second. Maybe light a white candle if you want. But something chill. You could burn some garlic skins. You could burn some onion skins. Again, like I said, put down the sage. We got to conserve the sage. We're doing too much with the sage. Put down the sage. Pick up some garlic skins and some onion skins and put them on a charcoal and smoke out the place. Then sweeten up the place again with something nice. Some copal, some frankincense, something sweet to sweeten back up the place. And make sure that you're doing things to fortify yourself every day. That means when you come home, clean yourself off. Energetically, you got to clean off every day. If you're going to take a shower and wash yourself every day, you need to clean off the grime from the world every day. You never know, and even the way, honestly, to me, malochia is also about like misfortune and unfortunate events. And I'm going to tell y'all a story and then I'm going to wrap it up because, I'm only at 18 minutes, but that's not the point. I'm just trying to keep it short and sweet because I got someplace to be in a little bit. So, a couple years ago, so for anybody that's been following me for a while, I used to live in New Jersey. I used to live in Jersey City, and I got an apartment, and I was living out there by myself, and I got robbed. Now, this is actually the week that I got robbed, and that's why I want to talk. This is like malochia is real, son. Malochia is real. I had gotten robbed, right? But before I got robbed, I had went to a party with my friends, and I went to this party, and it was a real cute little spot down in Bushwick or somewhere over there, and it was a nice little spot. It was a reggae party. It was like on a Wednesday night or something like that, right? So it was like this reggae party on a Wednesday night. I thought it was real cute. It was the spot that the party was in had all of these different rooms, and the room that the reggae party part was in was all the way in the back, and there was nobody really back there, right? And I got there early, and I was waiting for my friends, and I was having a good time vibing. The DJ's playing mad good music and shit. I'm having a good time. It was all girl DJs on the set that night. It was a great time, and it was no one there, right? Like, it was like, like when you get to a party and it's empty. It was literally like, if it was a dozen people at this party, it was a dozen people. And I'm waiting for my friends to show up. And in the meantime, I'm having a good time, having me a little drink, vibing. And when my friends show up, we having a good time. We dancing and stuff. We having a good time. And then another group of girls had came with one of the DJs, and they were younger. And I don't know. They were younger, and I guess they must have felt like they needed all the attention in the room, and that's fine. I guess that's what younger people do. I don't know. But me and my friend is dancing, and these girls started like pushing through me and my friend, like breaking us up from dancing or whatever. And the party wasn't that crowded that they had to push through anybody. They could have just went around, but it became very obvious that they were looking to like start some type of squabble. And in my mind, I'm just like, again, I'm grown. I'm in my 30s. I ain't got time to be fighting with nobody in the club. And I don't have no good impulse control when it comes to these types of things. Because somebody say the wrong thing to me, or somebody put their hands on me, or somebody get in my face, we are scrapping. So I was like, all right, let's not even do that. Mind you, I had my Florida water in my purse and shit. My homegirl started to get hot. I'm like, all right, I'm going to take control of the situation. I start patting myself down with the Florida water. I pat my homegirl down, pat my other homegirl. I pat everybody down. We dancing. Now the party's starting to get hot, like physically hot. And these girls are still trying it. And it was just like, wow, like, you know, had you caught any of us a couple of years, you know, younger, you might have got it. But at that point in time, it was like, it don't really make no sense to get into no argument or no fight with no stranger bitch in the club, because who the fuck got time for that? We got shit to do. And thankfully I didn't get caught up in no fuckery, because when I got home the next night, and mind you, my homegirl that night was like, yo, I think you need to go home and check on your crib. And I was like, all right. And I went home the next day, and that's when I realized that somebody had been in my house. Right? So it was like, I was backtracking, like, oh my gosh, if I would have gotten into an altercation at the club, I would have came home to nothing. My whole house would have been cleaned out. Like, wow, like having a little bit of self-control and having my Florida water on me and being like, just staying cool and even and level-headed is what saved me from really losing everything in my house. Because like, all I needed to do was make a bad decision at a party, and that shit was gonna fuck with my whole shit. It was just like, oh, okay. Again, that bad mind is real, you know? So when somebody is wishing something bad on you, for the most part, they're not really thinking anything specific. If they are, that's beyond bad mind. That's like, oh no, somebody trying to hex you. But if somebody's just literally thinking, oh, I fucking don't like this, like they're not happy for anything good. So they will be satiated by the fact that any type of misfortune came your way, whether they know about it or not. Better if they know about it, but if they don't know about it, it's fine. It still worked, you know? So these are things that we got to keep in mind. And like, that's why in the last episode I talked about like some of the basics to keeping your crib, like cascarilla, like Florida water and blue, anil, like all of these things, because these are things that you got to use to clean off every day. Every single day, you should do some type of cleansing on yourself. Even if it's something as simple as taking a little cascarilla and dusting it on the back of your neck and in the crown of your head. Like, yo, just thank you for keeping me cool and safe today, and ache. And let that be it. But if you start to feel like you got a heaviness on you, you know, sometimes out of nowhere you'll get hit with this bout. And sometimes it usually happens, in my experience, it usually happens right before something really good is happening, right? Like if you know something really good is coming up in your life, that's usually the time when you start feeling like, yo, something is fucking with me, and I really wish they would stop, because what the fuck, right? And that's why it's important not to tell too many people your business and let people know too much about how you're moving, right? Like sometimes you literally cannot tell anybody what's going on. And if you do tell somebody, it's got to be somebody that you trust with your life. Somebody that is like always been down for you, always is with you, like ride or die. Because you don't know with some of these people. Some people are literally happy for you as long as you're not getting past them, whatever that means, right? That don't even have to really mean shit, but it could be like in their mind, you good at this level, and the minute you start elevating or doing anything that takes you out of that, now they feel threatened. That's how some people operate. I'm not saying that's you. If you're somebody listening to this and you happen to be that type of person, you might want to figure out how to get over that shit, because that's not cool, because other people's success does not determine or diminish your own, right? Like, and I think that at the end of the day, bad mind, malochia, all these things is about fear, right? It's about somebody being scared that they're going to lose some type of place in your life. It's about somebody being scared that they're never going to achieve the things that they want to achieve. It's about somebody being scared to even go out and do the things that they want to do, and being mad at you for doing the things that you want to do, and being bold and fearless and courageous and having faith and stepping out and putting hard work to action. And like, there's some people that really are going to hate you for just doing you. What does that mean? That don't mean shit. All that means is that you got to keep doing you. You got to keep on fortifying yourself. You got to keep on thanking your ancestors and asking them to help guide you and help you discern who is the right people to be around. Because especially when you're trying to go somewhere, it's a lot of people going to want to take a lot of folks with them. You ain't going to be able to take everybody with you. You just can't. You can't. And that's why my aunt always told me, she said, Nick, when you get older, your circle is going to be small, super small. The younger you are, you got more friends. The older you get, the less friends you have, but the more sturdy and reliable they are. And that's real. And you will lose friends over this, you know? And I think at the end of the day, like I said, social media being what it is, be mindful of curate your feed to be inspirational, you know? Curate your feed so that way you feel energized and empowered when you scroll. Because if you're feeling drained and depleted when you scroll, then you need to think about who you're following and why, and what you're following and what you're keeping up with and what you're comparing yourself to, you know. And comparison is a thief of joy, right? At the end of the day. So that's it. I pretty much winged this episode. I'm going to do another episode talking about the opposite of bad mind, which is about good prayer, right? Like, and how good prayer can really change your life, and how when we talk about petitions and writing prayers and setting intentions, that we don't think sometimes about it as being as simple as please help me. But that's really what petitions are. You asking for help, and you asking that somebody, you know, answer it. And the same thing with bad mind. Bad mind is asking. It's for somebody asking for something bad to happen to you. And you need to be mindful of that. You need to be honest with yourself about what it is about you that will even make somebody feel like that. And you need to be honest with yourself about the type of relationships that you're keeping with people, and what you're allowing them to see about you, and what you allow them to know about you, and move with that. And don't feel bad about not being able to take everybody, because you can't. You can't feel bad about that. You really can't feel bad about that. There are some people that will sit up here and try to make you feel bad about the fact that you can't carry every single person along with you on your journey. But at the end of the day, we are all born in this world with our mission and our purpose. And that does not mean that we got to take everybody with us. And that don't mean that we got to endure just so we can get what we got to get. We need to be mindful of how we are allowing people to see us and be near us and take in our energy. And we need to be honest with ourselves about what it is that we bring into the table and what we're given versus what we're getting, and just take stock of these things. And this is not to make anyone feel paranoid, because at some point you may get a reading where somebody will tell you, "Yo, somebody really don't like you," or "Somebody wants you dead," or something like, and that will make you feel some type of way, because it is a little unsettling. But that's human nature, right? That's story as old as man itself. There's always going to be somebody that's mad. Now, what they mad about really ain't got nothing to do with you, and that's their problem. Straight up. Okay? So, it's Black History Month. But it's always Black History Month if you Black, in my opinion. And Valentine's Day is coming up. So this month I'm going to do some more episodes talking about, like, of course, Black history. But self-love, self-care, that type of stuff. And I got a couple things up my sleeve for this month. So with that being said, I hope that this episode was helpful to you. Again, my name is Nikki Buchanan. I'm the owner of Soul Things Botanica. Thank you everyone who's been subscribing, who's been leaving comments, who's been sharing. I'm on Instagram at Soul Things BK. I'm on Twitter at XDecadent. That's just my personal handle, just on there talking shit. I'm on Facebook at Soul Things Botanica. And right now I don't have nothing in the shop, but I got people asking me about butters, and I'm sorry, but I don't have any butters available for purchase. If I do butters this year, it will be for vending events only. I cannot keep up with the demand online, but I am thinking very strongly about bringing back some of my waters, my spiritual waters, my Florida water, my rose water, my tobacco waters, for this month and possibly for next month too. So let me know. Leave me a comment. Send me a message if you're interested in waters. I will definitely do my best to bring them back this month. And yeah, I hope that y'all have a fantastic February. I hope your February is everything that you need it to be. And I hope that this episode has helped you understand a little bit about the mechanics and the science behind malochia and bad mind. And if you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email, soulthingsbotanica@gmail.com. And you can also leave me a comment. Let me know. Let me know how y'all feel about this. All right. So again, my name is Nikki, and keep it black, keep it beautiful, and stay magical. Bye.